A Cultural Autopsy of Adelaide, Part 2. Sunday, Hahndorf, the mirage within the mirage. The walk. It was a cold, wet, rainy day in Adelaide. The kind of weather that feels like it's pressing down on the city. So I escaped. A 45-minute bus ride from the CBD into the hills, a small mercy, a brief exile from the gray. I arrived early and wandered Hahndorf for an hour, performing a slow forensic sweep of the façade. Every shopfront was a clue, every detail a tell. Cuckoo clocks that had never seen Bavaria. Faux German bakeries with pastries that tasted like committee meetings. Alpine kitsch stamped made in Shenzhen. Fridges that should have held Spezia, but instead held disappointment. It was Germany as imagined by someone who once saw a postcard and thought, yes, that'll do. A theme park built on borrowed vowels. The German girl. And then, the glitch in the simulation. A German girl walking down the street in activewear so tight it looked airbrushed onto her bones. Not vulgar, not performative, just real. In a place built entirely out of imitation. A wolf striding calmly through a village of mascots. She didn't break the illusion. She revealed it. The reunion. Eddie and Kel, frozen in amber since 1998, thawed instantly the moment we met. We tried the Hahndorf Inn. No seating, no hope. So we crossed to the German Arms, the understudy that became the star. The beer taps were a cultural crime scene. Stellar brews from the fatherland, the real stuff, forged under the quiet ancient discipline of the Reinheitsgebot, sitting right there on tap. And beside them, the usual local filler, engineered for maximum safety and minimum imagination. I pronounced the names correctly. The staff looked offended. Eddie later told me, with Bremen steel in his voice, "Dave, this could be a hell of a lot better." And then he told me about the sign he'd seen earlier, a proudly displayed German word with an umlaut slapped over a vowel that would never take one in proper German. Not in Bremen, not in Bavaria, not in any dialect spoken by anyone who's ever set foot in the country. A diacritic disaster. A linguistic hallucination, the kind of thing that makes a German soul briefly leave their body. We sat there for hours, the three of us, talking through the last 28 years like we were flipping through a shared atlas. Trips, cities, mistakes, triumphs. The strange looping paths that had carried us from the late 90s to this absurd little theme park village. And then Eddie, with the same casual tone someone uses to mention they bought a new kettle, said, "Oh, I've got 14 guitars now." 14. A whole arsenal. A museum of tone wood and midlife joy. It was perfect, absurd, predictable, hilarious. A reunion staged in the heart of a mirage. Monday, the autopsy begins. The long walk. I walked through Adelaide's gray arteries, hoping for culture, texture, something with a pulse. Instead, I found cultural malpractice. The comic shops. They had back issues, technically, but not the curated kind, not the kind that smell like history and obsession. These were low-grade, sun-faded, spine-cracked, bagged in yellowed plastic, And worst of all, defaced with old prices scribbled directly on the covers in ink pen, and yet priced like museum pieces. It wasn't just disappointing, it was vandalism disguised as commerce. The record stores. A wasteland of algorithmic nostalgia. Taylor Swift, Fleetwood Mac reissues, Coldplay. $60 repressings of albums that should cost $12. And the hip-hop section? A cultural crime scene. No trace of Ghetto Boys, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, Run DMC. No Scarface, no Willie D, no Ice Cube in his prime, no Parrish and Eric trading lines like prize fighters, no Hollis Queens architects who built the blueprint. Instead, the revisionist canon, Tupac and Biggie as the founding fathers. It wasn't just wrong, it was offensive. Adelaide doesn't curate culture, it curates the illusion of culture. The barber shop. And then the final absurdity. An empty barber shop. A man doing nothing, a chair waiting like a throne. And he still hit me with, "By appointment only, come back tomorrow." That was the moment I reached the final emotional state, resignation. Not defeat, not despair, just a calm acceptance that Adelaide runs on rules written by ghosts.